All right, welcome to Into Search. I'm your host, Scott Sand. This is your one-stop shop for all your speedy reviews and your detailed how-tos. We normally do this in one take. Don't judge me. Don't leave any comments. I'm not a guy that's a great editor and graphics guy, but today we're going to be trying to fix a leaky faucet. So it is Mr. Fix-It Day. We're going to have a leaky faucet, and the first step is go outside right now and cut the water off to your house. Once you shut the water off to your house, it'll be by the curb or the street, and normally by your driveway. Shut it off to where it can lock, and that when you turn it, you can put a lock through it. That's what the city does when they shut your water off. But once you get that off, come to your kitchen sink and your bathroom sinks and open them up to drain all the water out of the pipes. That way when you start messing with this, water doesn't shoot all over the place. So this is what it looks like when they cut the water off outside. You got them both open. It's sucking it out, draining through. Let's go to another bathroom. So here's another one. You want to drain them all out so there's no water in the line at all. Nothing that can shoot back. You can hear the air sucking down, going to the downstairs. So you can see it draining out. If you have one of these knobs that's not a hot and cold, you have to twist it. Make sure you do both sides. But once that's all out, then you know you can take the cartridge off. Here we're going to be fixing a leaky faucet. You're in your shower and you go to cut it off and it keeps leaking and you try to barely turn it and you just can't find that spot where it cuts it off. So if you have a leaky tub faucet, the drain keeps going, then normally it's your cartridge. So you can also, in this video we're going to do the downspout. You normally can twist these off. I already pre-did all of them, so it's going to look easy. You might have to get a little test on it. Remember, it's always lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, so counterclockwise gets it off. This is an old one. We're going to replace it with the new knob, which is going to be a single handle. But this is also not if you have a hot and cold shutoff. This is just for single shutoffs because the cartridge that goes in there, which is this piece, this is the leaky piece. So come a little closer. These parts right here and this little O-ring breaks off, it starts leaking. So normally this will fall off, the rubber part that lets water start trickling out, and that's why it keeps coming down the downspout. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a flat header of Phillips, and there's a screw right here. Can you see it? There's a screw right there. You counterclockwise it, lefty-loosey. You can take those off. Then they have a spacer, which will have little teeth on it, little cleats that mount into that. Now this is going to be a universal fit. So that little nub out, this part, you can see it's flat on one side. That's what these stick to. So you normally an Allen wrench or maybe sometimes a little screw, you can take those and they'll fit onto these. And then you can tighten it. You can put any kind of shower head into that. So for now, I already did it all. Now this is not going to be exposed. The only part you're going to see is the front of here. You can see how it says hot and cold. There's a tab at the top, tab at the bottom. You're going to set it in there just like that where it's hot on the left, cold on the right. Now my shower nozzle, I want to make sure it's hanging down. You can flip these upside down and that'll let you go right. If it points to the right, it's cold. Points to the left, it's hot. Otherwise, you have to put it upside down, but then you can see the screw hole that mounts it. So normally you don't want to do that. Have it facing up. You still want it facing down. You can flip these and reverse which way the flow goes. So what you want to do is you get some pliers. You're going to grab this at the front. Now, it's already out, but it's going to be in there. You're going to have to wiggle it quite a bit and try to get it to move forward. Now, before you do that, you want to take off the flashing part, the decorative trim. But before you do that, there's also, some of them will have a screw here, but these Moen ones have this little tab at the top. It stops it from sliding forward. So you need to, you're only going to see that top part. Put a little screwdriver in there, pull it straight up, and once you get that little safety pin out, then you can grab this. You're going to twist and try to pull it out. All right, so moving on, you want to dry fit stuff to make sure that it works. So you can tell that there's still, again, a hot and cold. You can have it up or you can have it down, but universal fittings. This is a Moen one that fits to any Moen. Moen's going to be one of the big brands. They're like the big distributor of all kind of faucets that go for your tub or your kitchen or your bathroom sink. So you can see on the back side there's a little groove. There's an indentation in there. You want to put that one into it. It should look like that sticking out. These are little spacers. This goes onto it. Then this fits into there. So now you can see where the hot and cold is at the top. I know hot's on the left. So H is on the left. So if I turn this to the right, you can see on the side that it opens up. If I turn it towards facing to the left, you can see on the other side that it opens up. So you want it to where when you turn it to H, it gets hot. So it does the opposite when the hot's on top. So if you flip it upside down and you put this back in there, now I know hot and cold's on the bottom. Most of the time, hot's on the left, cold's on the right. So now when I turn it to the left, now the hot side's open. If I turn it to the right, you can see there's a hole there that makes it open. So when I push it down, you see how it shuts it off? That's how a cartridge works inside of it. That's how it diverts water to the shower top and to your hot and cold. All right, so let's put it in. And then also when you put it in there, you'll have two screws that you see right here. Stay. All right, one of them is going to go on the bottom of here to mount the whole thing so it really grips tight. The other one goes through like we started off with, how I did the screw in the first top. That holds the actual handle on to the cartridge. All right, so let's get this in there. Let's take off all the parts. Now it also says to lube it. So Moen now gives you a little bit of lubricant. I know I'll get some people in the comments trying to make a joke about that. Alright, so once you lube the O-ring, and then once you rub this, because this is a gasket too, it's a little rubber side panel that stops the water from shooting out after pressure gets to it. So you want to put some lube on the side. Just dab a little, don't want to go crazy with it. Rub it all over all the rubber parts, because it's going to be in there a long time. And I had a friend next door, that's why I made this video. They asked me to come do it, so for me I want the handle down, I want the hot and cold facing down. So for me, oh yeah, it goes in there nice when it's lubed up. So you put that back in. A neighbor did it. They charged them something like $550 just to come out here and do this, and you saw how many screws it was. Now most people watching this video, the reason you pay a plumber and the reason why plumbers are so expensive is because it's their liability. If it messes up and it water damages your wall or gets in your sinks and stuff, it comes back on their insurance. So since you don't have insurance and you're doing this yourself, I do recommend that you, if you're not comfortable doing it, to go ahead and get a plumber to do it for you. And you gotta get this perfectly set so you can put this back in. There it goes. All right, so you see how it drops down? Get a good look at that. This is what it looks like in the beginning. See how it's just a little top up there? So normally you would just take something, grab that, push it back up. So in the beginning video, I was saying that's what you got to pull up. That's how you get it. All right, so now we have the new cartridge in, and when you pull the old one out, how the best way to find it is, come here. You'll see on the side, it says Moen, and this one says 180084. Type that into the Google Internet. It will show you who sells them. Normally it's Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart has a few, but normally you have to ship it to your house. So if you're going to go that day, your water's shut off, right? You need this repaired. So you're probably going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get it instantly. And when you look up that part, it'll come with a special part. I think this one was 1222. So yeah, this one was 1222, but it says Posse Temp or Posy Temp, which is a single handle cartridge. So again, this is only for single handle. You want to make sure you get the right piece. So if you're trying to look for them, they'll have it branded on there. You just have to find it. All right, so let's put the cleat back on. That's in. Don't forget your trim piece. Obviously, this person has white tiles that don't match the other tiles. They've had work done before, so someone just patched that and they were okay with it. This is supposed to have screws that go through it and mounts to the actual housing of the cartridge. I can't get to those screws, so this is just going to sit there. But that's how it was when it started. So that little tab that we pulled out will hold this in place. But still, I don't like the idea of it. I like stuff to be clean. So again, when this sits in there, this part is off to the left a little bit. So I know when I mount it, it's going to be slightly off to the left. Now you don't want to over tighten these because you can strip them. So you get it good going on it, but you don't want to wiggle this without it automatically grabbing the metal part, the nub out of the cartridge. Now you want to do this at your own risk. Remember, this is not financial advice, or this ain't personal advice, so you've got to do everything according to your ability to do it. Don't want anybody saying, well, oh, my son watched this video and he tried to switch out a cartridge and water went everywhere because he didn't do step one. So take it at your own risk. All right, now you put that on. This is the Allen wrench. It has a hex tip to the end, so if you don't know what an Allen wrench is, it has a 6-sided tip, or a lot of times they'll have a flathead part right there. So So see, this is missing this trim piece. When they have a kit, there's a little metal part that sticks out between here. So this should be covered by the metal part, but this one didn't come with it. So I'll have to go buy it here in a minute. But know that that will line up. The rigid part at the top of that little trim piece goes up. All right. So then this screw goes underneath, and you're going to tighten it. Same thing. Once you feel a lot of grip, it should be able to turn this without any wiggle room. All right. All right. So this is the old one. You can see it has a big part on the back side. I already threaded the tape on there so you can pop it on. Obviously, you pull this up and diverts it back to upstairs. But the new ones, they will have adjustments on there. So this will be on there because you might have a different kind of type. So you might have a pipe that sticks out. This clamps to it. So they give you universal pieces. Thin piece, or if you have the bigger threads, you can put this on the end and they'll twist it in. But this one is the small threads. So I don't need the adapter. So sometimes you don't have to use all parts. You might be staring at it like, what the hell does this go to? That's what they mean by universal. They try to make it where it connects to everything. All right. So this is a diverter. You don't have to have it on there super crazy tight. Just get what you can. And then you screw it onto the wall. And once it's onto the wall, then you want to take some clear silicone and caulk it around this, caulk it around that. Bothers me a lot that there's not that little nub out trim piece, but it is what it is. They paid me to fix the cartridge, not the rest of it. So after that, you're tight on. You go back outside, you cut the water on. Now when you cut the water on, all your kitchen sinks and your bathroom sinks, keep them open, hot and cold. When the water fills through it, it's going to spit. When it's done spitting, all the air's out of the line, then you can shut them off. So if you have a 2-story, shut them off downstairs first. It'll work its way upstairs. Then you can shut the upstairs. Then you can come over here and actually do a water test, which we're going to do right now. Okay, so you can see the water's on. It's running. You want to do every one in your house to get all the water out of the air out of the lines. So once it's on and going, hot, cold, no spit. Flush your toilets to get the air out of the line. But if you never flush the toilet to start off with, you don't have to worry about it because it stayed full. All right, so hot and cold. Now we can get shut off. Okay, so after all of them are running good, you're good to go. So that was the spitting. Again, thanks for stopping by End of Search. I really do appreciate all the viewers and the people that watch the videos. And again, I'm probably never going to be sponsored by anybody. I want to keep a biased opinion to where you know that I've tested it and tried it and had a learning curve along the way because everybody makes mistakes, and do this professionally for a living for USA and State Farm and Liberty Mutual, but that's besides the point. So if you think I deserve it, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and if you really want some reviews or how to fix things, I'm always going to keep shouting them out to you. I've been slacking for a little bit, haven't been posting like I should be. Work's been a little busy, but I promise you I'm going to start making a lot more videos for y'all. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to see videos of just somebody that's trying to help you get a better angle and a better perspective of things. So remember, most people always ask, is the glass half full or is it half empty? And I always like to think, well, that's a matter of perspective, right? What's in the glass? If you travel across a desert, you're dying of thirst, well, the glass is half full if it's water. And if you have a person that's entitled and they've had it easy in life, well, you hand them something that's half full, they're going to think it's half empty because they want more. But you can't judge that person, because if you were to go to a bar or Sonic or anywhere you can get a drink and someone gave you a half glass that was, you're paying for it, you're going to think it's half empty too. So really, I don't think it's a matter of what's in the glass or if it's half full or half empty. It's a matter of perspective. It's a glass. It's refillable. And so are you. So I'm hoping that you fill your glass with a whole bunch of positivity. You might go with your outfit. Have a blessed day.